Hi everyone, welcome back to a new episode from DGMZ, Diwan-e-Ghalib, Meri Zubani. To all our returning viewers, we are delighted that you could join us again. And for the new viewers, we are very happy that you discovered the podcast and decided to tune in for the first time. Now, if you were with me in the previous episode, you know that currently we are going through Ghazal 21 from Diwan-e-Ghalib, Ye Na Thi Humaari Qismat. We have already covered 5 couplets, and you would find 5 episodes posted in a dedicated playlist for this Ghazal only. Today we are going to get into the 6th couplet. As always, I will read the couplet first and then we will get into the impressions. So this is how it goes. Rage sang se tapakta. Rage sang se tapakta. Woh lahoo कि फिर ना थमता. रगे संग से टपकता वो लहू कि फिर ना थमता. जिसे गम समझ रहे हो ये अगर शरार होता. So, a quick approximate translation to begin with. Rage sang. Rag is veins, sang is stone, rock. Veins in the stone or veins in the rock. Se tapakta, would drip. Wo lahu ki phir na thamta. Lahu is blood. Na thamta, does not stop. So, from the veins of the rock would drip blood that would not stop. Second line. जिसे गम समझ रहे हो, that what you perceive as gum, misery, grief, ये अगर शरार होता, had it been a spark. So that is the approximate translation. Now before we get into the impression of this couplet, we should spend some time to set up a background, a context to this stone and blood and heart dynamic. It's a very interesting dynamic. It plays out in Urdu poetry in more than one ways. And it will be worth our time to understand that dynamic before we actually get into the message of this couplet. So, let's start with the stone. It is said that stones, they have a network of veins inside them. And these veins have this dormant fire flowing in it. And how do we know that? We know that because when a stone is struck with force or when 2 stones are rubbed together, this dormant fire flowing in their veins will leap out of the stone as a spark. And we know that this spark carries in it a potential to start a fire. That huge a potential this spark carries in it. We know that because, of course, we have read that in ancient times when there were no matchboxes, this is how fires were started. You drove out this dormant fire flowing in the veins of a stone outside of it by rubbing 2 stones together or striking the stone again and again against a surface till this dormant fire leapt out as a spark. And then you would immediately use that spark to light a fire. And ये जो amazing potential hai, which lies deeply buried in the stone. इसको आप देखिए गुहार खैराबादी ने कितनी प्यारी तरह इस शेर में कैप्चर किया है. टकराएं टकराएं तो सहराओं में भी आग लगा दें. टकराएं तो सहराओं में भी आग लगा दें, पोशीदा रगे संग में हैं कितने शरार देख. Beautiful couplet. The approximate translation is, if they were to strike against each other, if they were to clash against each other, these stones have a potential to burn the entire forest down. Hidden in the veins of these stones are many a spark. So you cannot look at the stone and judge or identify or figure out what lies or what flows inside of it. And ये stone को बहुत जिसे कहते हैं ना एक बहुत what is the word I'm looking for, एक बहुत mystical टाइप की आइडेंटिटी देता है ये क्वालिटी जो उसके अंदर है. दैट बाहर से दिखने वाला एक डेड हार्ड कोल्ड स्टोन अपने जिगर में आग दबा के रखता है, और बस जिनको पता है उनको पता है, बाकी सबको ना तो वो आग दिखेगी और शायद वो ना तो कभी उस आग को इस्तेमाल कर पाएंगे, उसको एलिसिट कर पाएंगे, उसको मैनिफेस्ट कर पाएंगे. सिर्फ जो जानते हैं वो जानते हैं. ओके, so that was the stone. Moving on to the human body. So human body too has a network of veins inside it, and in this network we have blood flowing. The control center of this network lies in the heart. And when a human body is struck, it makes blood bleed out of it. So both sparks in the stone and blood in the human body are signs of life. And both things, the stone and the human body, by extension the human heart, when struck, will elicit, will manifest the sparks and the blood drops out of its physical matter. And that is why you could say that the stone and the human heart are similar in this aspect. Both of them have a network. Both of them have the source of life flowing in that network. And both of them, when struck, will elicit or manifest this life source flowing in them outside of them. One will elicit as a spark, one will elicit it as a spark, and the other will elicit it as blood or blood drops. So yes, they are similar in that aspect, but that's where the similarity ends. We know that a stone and a human heart, the birdie fell. Okay. We know that the stone and a human heart are anything but alike, right? Where the stone is totally devoid of any emotion or feeling, human heart, on the other hand, is all emotion and feeling. And इसमें देखिए गालिब ने किस तरह से इस शेर में बड़ी प्यारी तरह इस बात को क्लैरिफाई किया है. बहुत फेमस शेर है. दिल ही तो है ना संगो केश्त, दर्द से भर ना आए क्यों. दिल ही तो है न संगो केश्त, दर्द से भर ना आए क्यों. रोएंगे हम 1000 बार, कोई हमें सताए क्यों. The approximate translation is, it is after all a heart and not a stone, not a rock. So why wouldn't it fill and overflow with grief? And second line में बोलते हैं, why won't I cry 1,000,000 times, 1,000 times when somebody hurts me? because I have a heart. I house a heart inside of me, not a stone, not a rock. Another difference between the stone and the heart is that when the stone manifests its life source outside of it as a spark, that spark is very instant, very fleeting, and it lasts for a second, for a moment. Yes, if you catch it in that moment, you can create a fire, sure, but in itself, the spark lasts but a moment. Vis-a-vis the blood that gets manifested from the human body or human heart when it is struck will not vanish. Once it is out of the body, it stays. It stays. It's not going anywhere. यहाँ पर one thing to point out, which is very interesting and again used in Urdu poetry a lot, is the fact that ironically, many a times, the beloved's heart is addressed as a stone, or the beloved is addressed as someone who is stone-hearted. And it is done because of this reason. Because one knows that in the spectrum of emotion and feeling, if heart is at this end as one of the most alive things as far as emotion and feelings go, probably stone is on the other end as one of the most dead things, right? Without feelings and emotions. And that is why the sarcasm in calling the beloved stone-hearted, or in fact calling anybody stone-hearted. We have heard that. And beloved ke sang dil hone pe, right? Sang dil is the phrase. Sang stone, dil heart, stone-hearted. So beloved ke sang dil hone pe बहुत शेर हैं, प्यारे प्यारे. We will just go through a few of them just to cement this concept, right? So मेला राम वफा का ये शेर. खून कितने सितम कशों का हुआ, खून कितने सितम कशों का हुआ, आँख उस संग दिल की तर ना हुई. So basically the approximate translation is so many were murdered, the ones who were struck and engulfed with grief. But that stone-hearted person, we did not see even a drop of water in her eyes. She did not feel any kind of remorse or sadness on the slaying of so many grieved lovers. कलीम आजिज़ का ये शेर. तुझे संग दिल ये पता है क्या, तुझे संग दिल ये पता है क्या, कि दुखे दिलों की सदा है क्या. कभी चोट तूने भी खाई है, कभी तेरा दिल भी दुखा है क्या. So the question is addressed to the stone-hearted beloved. So this is the translation. You stone-hearted person, do you even know what is the lament, what is the cry, what is the request that comes out of a grieving heart? Have you ever been injured or wounded or pained, right? Has your heart ever cried this way? By extension, it hasn't, and probably that is why you just are unable to understand the cries coming to you from these grieving hearts. So that is a quick insight into the beloved being sang dil, an interesting dynamic that plays out in Urdu poetry. Now, there's another dynamic that is shared by stone and blood. Stone is used many a times to strike the lover and draw blood from him. So, कई बार ये संग जो है ये इस्तेमाल किया जाएगा आशिक को मारने के लिए. Ashik stoned to death actually in many instances. This stone will play a part in the demise of the lover because it will be used by people to stone the lover and kill him. Ali Sada Jafri का ये शेर, खूने सर बह गया मौत आ गई दीवानों को. खूने सर बह गया मौत आ गई दीवानों को बारिश संग से तूफान शरार से पहले. So, beautiful couplet. So, what it is saying is that the lover had blood flowing from his head. So, by head here, by extension, it means neck. So, the lover was slayed. The lover was slayed by the beloved, and there was blood flowing out from his head, and this is how the lover died. And in the second line, they say, before the rain of stones and before the storm of sparks coming out from those stones, this happened. So, by extension, had the beloved not slayed the lover, the public would have gotten to him. The public would have gotten to him and rained stones which would elicit sparks and ultimately stone the lover to death. It almost seems that the lover develops this affinity to the stones that will be hurled at him because somewhere this act by the public towards the lover proves that the lover is being perceived as an ashik who has transcended to the realms of इश्क़ जुनून. अपने मजनू की कहानी याद आ जाती है यहाँ पर. शेख इब्राहिम ज़ौक़ का ये शेर, मैं वो मजनू हूँ जो निकलूँ कुंजे ज़िंदा छोड़कर. मैं वो मजनू हूँ जो निकलूँ कुंजे ज़िंदा छोड़कर, सेबे जन्नत तक ना खाऊं संगे तिफला छोड़कर. बहुत सारे कॉम्प्लेक्सेस हैं वर्ड्स के, बट शेर बहुत प्यारा है. मैं वो मजनू हूँ जो निकलूँ कुंजे ज़िंदा छोड़ के. कुंजे ज़िंदा इज़ द हैबिटेट ऑफ अ प्रिजन, राइट? सो आई एम दैट मजनू who will leave the habitat of prison, and by extension here the prison is the prison of life. So I am that Majnu who will give up the prison of life in a heartbeat for his love, right? Life does not hold any attraction for me when compared to the love I have for my beloved, which is Laila. And then sebe jannat tak na khaun, I would refuse I would refuse the apples of heaven. Apples of heaven, big deal, huh? I would refuse the apples of heaven in exchange for sange tifla. Sang is stone, tifla is children. So when children hurl stones at you, and this is that very typical picture of a madman, of a Majnu. And since Majnu is coming up again and again, I have to mention the DGMZ mini-series. Do access that. We are currently running it and going through the story of Laila and Majnu in great detail. Coming back to the couplet. So, a lover will in a heartbeat give up the prison of life and will refuse the apples of heaven if they were in exchange for the pebbles the kids are going to throw at him because they consider him to be a crazy mad man. And in our couplet, राइट. रगे संग से टपकता वो लहू की फिर ना थमता, जिसे गम समझ रहे हो ये अगर शरार होता. Interestingly, in our couplet, the lover, it seems, is avenging himself. You will say, how? Well, for a change, the lover is making the stone bleed. The lover is making the stone bleed and not the other way around. Who could think and articulate this revenge against the stone better than Ghalib? हर दिन वो पत्थर जो आशिक को मारते थे, आशिक का खून बहाते थे, आशिक की जान निकालते थे, आज आशिक उस पत्थर में से खून बहाएगा. और एक नहीं, दो नहीं, 3 ड्रॉप्स नहीं, continuous खून बहाएगा. So that's a very interesting thing that comes to mind when you read about this शेख इब्राहिम ज़ौक़ का शेर, मैं वो मजनू हूँ जो निकलूँ कुंजे ज़िंदा छोड़कर, सेब जन्नत तक ना खाऊँ संगे तिफलां छोड़कर. तब आप रियलाइज़ करते हो, अरे इस कपलेट में तो अवेंज होगा लवर. Okay, so coming back to the couplet, first line. In the first line, Ghalib is hypothecating a vivid visual where the stone is bleeding through its veins continuously, ceaselessly, tirelessly, a blood stream that is not stopping. रगे संग से टपकता वो लहू कि फिर न थमता. And then in the second line he explains why. Because it seems the fire which was originally flowing in the veins of the stone has now been replaced with the blood that flows in the lover's heart. How? We will cover that in a bit. But for now, this शेर encompasses the scenario well. ये जी में आती है तख्लीक़े फ़न के लम्हों में. ये जी में आती है तख्लीक़े फ़न के लम्हों में कि खूं बन के रगे संग में उतर जाऊं. अहमद नदीम कासमी का शेर है. अब इसमें एक वर्ड कॉम्प्लेक्स है, तख्लीक़े फ़न. तख्लीक़ इज़ बेसिकली द क्रिएशन, द कंपाइलेशन ऑफ समथिंग और प्रोडक्शन ऑफ समथिंग. एंड फ़न इज़, जैसे आपको पता है, हुनर, an art form, an expertise you have in some kind of artistic ability. So the lover is saying that in those moments when my artistic abilities hit their peak, this is what I want to create. I want to transform myself into blood. And then I want to do the impossible. And what is that? I want to get into the veins of the stone. I want to flow in the veins of the stone. Now, the stone which is usually struck by force in our couplet is struck by grief and pain that resides in the lover's heart. And this strike makes the stone behave in a way that is contrary to its original nature. This strike makes the stone bleed out, a continuous stream of blood, just like you would see the lover's heart do, right? अब बशीर बद्र का ये शेर, पत्थर के जिगर वालों गम में वो रवानी है. पत्थर के जिगर वालों गम में वो रवानी है, खुद राह बना लेगा बहता हुआ पानी है. So the approximate translation is that you stone-hearted people know that grief and misery have an intensity to it, that creates its own path. Now, the pain and grief of the lover's heart here seems that it is unbearable for the stone. When you strike the stone with the pain and grief that resides in the lover's heart, it transforms the stone. It almost melts the stone. and it makes the stone bleed. Not bleed a drop here and a drop there, but bleed ceaselessly, continuously. एंड यहाँ पर आप गालिब का एक बड़ा यूनिक स्टाइल देखते हैं, एंड वी हैव मेंशन्ड इट बिफोर ऑल्सो इन डिफरेंट एपिसोड्स. गालिब हैज़ दिस यूनिक स्टाइल वेयर ही डज नॉट फोकस ऑन वॉट इज हैपनिंग as much. His focus is primarily on at what level it is happening. That quantification. तो जो हो रहा है वो तो हो रहा है, पर किस लेवल पे हो रहा है, क्योंकि होता तो ये है. गालिब का फलसफा था होता तो ये है, बट फर्क यहाँ आ जाता है कि किस लेवल पे हो रहा है. कुछ लोग इस लेवल पे करते हैं, कुछ लोग इस लेवल पे करते हैं, कुछ लोग इस लेवल पे करते हैं. ये मेरा लेवल है. सो दैट क्वांटिफिकेशन इज अ वेरी यूनिक क्वालिटी ऑफ गालिब विच आई लव रीडिंग, बिकॉज इस क्वालिटी के मारे गालिब pushes the reader into a place where he is making things happen at a level which beats all rational. It beats all logic. It beats all calculation. But Ghalib still makes you believe it. Ghalib still makes you relate to it. Ghalib still makes you embrace it. And that is a difficult feat to achieve. That's not easy. And he does it so effortlessly. एवरी टाइम. सो इस बात के तो डेफिनेटली कायल हैं ये जो क्वांटिफिकेशन करते हैं गालिब. सो अब ऐसा तो नहीं है कि संग से खून टपकना कोई छोटी बात है. इफ अ स्टोन इज ब्लीडिंग ब्लड, दैट इटसेल्फ इज अ ह्यूज थिंग. द सरप्राइज एलिमेंट इज देयर. द वाव फैक्टर इज ऑलरेडी देयर. कोई छोटी बात नहीं है. एक बहुत हैरत अंगेज बात है कि पत्थर में से खून बह रहा है. एंड मेनी अ पोएट्स हैव यूज्ड दिस सरप्राइज एंड वाव फैक्टर ऑफ खून टपकना, राइट, इन देयर शायरी. एंड देखिए ये रिफात सेठी का शेर, रायगा खुद को ना कर बज़्म वफा में ए दिल, यूं ना आँखों से टपक खूने तमन्ना होकर. So the approximate translation is, my heart, do not waste yourself in this gathering of loyalty. Don't drip yourself out drop by drop from the eyes. I mean, basically don't cry like that. And then मुज़ाफ़ी गुलाम हमदानी का ये शेर, आज खूं हो के टपक पड़ने के नज़दीक है दिल, नो के नश्तर हो तो हाँ काबिले तहरीक है दिल. सो द अप्रॉक्सीमेट ट्रांसलेशन इज, टुडे द हार्ट इज एट द ब्रिंक ऑफ ड्रॉपिंग और ड्रिपिंग आउट ऑफ माई आईज एज ड्रॉप्स ऑफ ब्लड. एंड येस, इट इज ट्रू. इफ द हार्ट इज पियर्स्ड बाय अ शार्प इनफ ऑब्जेक्ट, it will gain motion, it will move, and by extension, yes, it will drip like blood if injured with a sharp enough object. And then Sauda Muhammad Rafi का ये शेर, दिल मत टपक नज़र से, दिल मत टपक नज़र से कि पाया ना जाएगा, दिल मत टपक नज़र से कि पाया ना जाएगा, जू अश्क फिर ज़मी से उठाया ना जाएगा. सो अगेन pleading the heart to not start dripping from the eyes, tears of blood, right? Not start dipping from the eyes, because once these drops fall on the earth, it will be very difficult to pick them up again. They will be wasted. They will be lost forever. So as you can see, just to elicit the point, right, कि टपकना खून का किसी चीज़ से कोई छोटी बात नहीं है, और संग से टपकना तो बिल्कुल छोटी बात नहीं है, काफ़ी हैरत अंगेज बात है. सो लाइक आई सेड, वाव फैक्टर, सरप्राइज फैक्टर है इसमें, एंड काफ़ी शायर इसको यूज़ करते हैं, बट ये गालिब हैं, राइट? ये गालिब हैं जहाँ सब शायरों का वाव फैक्टर अपनी सीलिंग हिट करता है, वहाँ से गालिब का वाव फैक्टर अपनी बेस लाइन उठाता है राइट? वहाँ से गालिब का वाव फैक्टर अपनी बेस लाइन उठाता है. वेयर एवरीबडी एंड्स, दैट इज़ वेयर गालिब स्टार्ट्स. सो आप ये देखिए, इस शेर में गालिब के पास कुछ ले दे के he had an equity of 20 words for this couplet, right? And out of that equity, he spends 6 words on emphasizing that this blood will not cease flowing. And ये quantification हो रहा है और parallel में बड़ी subtly एक paradox भी क्रिएट कर दिया है. जब वो कहते हैं टपकता ना थम, some would say that it is opposite. Drip is a very slow, stagnant process. Flowing never stops. It's an active motion phenomena. बट दोनों को यूज़ कर दिया है जब वो बोलते हैं रगे संग से टपकता वो लहू की फिर ना थमता, तो वो पैराडॉक्स भी बीच में डाल दिया है. And so Ghalib is not talking in terms of the usual drip. He doesn't mean a drop here and a drop there. He quantifies in terms of a continuous flow. And like I said, it is important for him to do that. अपने 20 लफ्ज़ों में से 6 लफ्ज़ इस बात पे खर्च किए हैं, वो लहू कि फिर ना थमता. एंड सिर्फ इस शेर में नहीं, आप उनका ये शेर देखिए, डरे क्यों मेरा कातिल, डरे क्यों मेरा कातिल, क्या रहेगा उसकी गर्दन पर. डरे क्यों मेरा कातिल, क्या रहेगा उसकी गर्दन पर, वो खून जो चश्मे तर से उम्र भर यूं दम बदम निकले. उम्र भर. So let's do the approximate translation. Why would my murderer, by extension the beloved, be worried or be afraid that she would be caught for the murder? And whose murder? My murder. Because when she murdered me, the way she killed me, the blood dripped drop by drop throughout my life, right? So there was no proof of a through and through murder, of a through and through slaying, because the way she murdered me was a slow death. Ab to an interesting part in this couplet. This couplet has a twist. Okay, and if we were to take this twist in account, it would add another aspect to the sher. If we do not, then still the sher would flow. And we will explore both aspects. So let's first explore the aspect of the sher has a twist. Now, what is this twist, right? So second line में जब गालिब कहते हैं जिसे गम समझ रहे हो, ये क्यों कहते हैं कि समझ रहे हो? द ट्विस्ट इज इन द वर्ड समझ. क्या कहना चाहते हैं? अब गम तो इनका है, तो ऑफ कोर्स ही इज नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट हिमसेल्फ. ये गम को क्या समझेंगे, ये तो गम का ओरिजिन है. तो ऑफ कोर्स जो सामने हैं, हम जैसे लोग जो उनको देख रहे हैं, उनको परसीव कर रहे हैं, द लाइन इज एड्रेस्ड टू सच पीपल. तुम जिसे गम समझ रहे हो. अब ये गालिब हैं, ये एक अल्फ़ाबेट भी बिना रैशनल और पर्पस के शेर में नहीं डालते हैं. ये तो फिर भी पूरा अल्फाज है, समझ रहे हो. तो हम लोग ये अज्यूम करेंगे, वी विल अज्यूम दैट देयर इज़ अ रीज़न वाई गालिब uses or adds this word समझ रहे हो, जिसे गम समझ रहे हो, instead of saying something like जिस गम को समझ चुके हो, wherein he agrees that you have understood the gum and yes it is gum. यहाँ पर ऐसा लग रहा है that Ghalib is saying you are perceiving it as gum, but it is not. It is not. ऐसा लगता है कि Ghalib is stating that what is perceived as gum by everyone is much more. So much more. Now we know that the lover's gum, pain, grief is huge, since it is caused by injury which is deep, long-standing. Injury which stays raw and fresh because it receives continuous new wounding. So we do know that gum is a big deal. It takes up a lot of space in the lover's heart. But here it seems that Ghalib wants to clarify that no matter how huge this gum is, the lover's heart holds more, so much more. And ये गालिब का अगेन एक बहुत आई वुड से एक प्रिंसिपल था. इसको मैं स्टाइल नहीं कहूँगी, प्रिंसिपल था कि जहाँ भी मौका मिलेगा he will take the opportunity to clarify and establish that the lover never desires to be pitied for his misfortune, pain and loss. Because what the world perceives as misfortune, pain and loss is actually dear and precious to the lover. मुझे गम भी उनका अजीज है कि उन्हीं की दी हुई चीज़ है. The lover's take on his pain and misfortune and loss is different than the take the world has on it. The lover treasures it and holds it close to his heart. ये उसकी जमा पूंजी है. And यहाँ पे गालिब ऐसा लगता है wants to eliminate the possibility of the reader incorrectly labeling all that lies in the lover's heart as gum, pain, grief. Ghalib wants to sensitize the reader to the fact that the supreme emotion that takes up the maximum real estate in the lover's heart is not gum. It is passion, love, junoon, आशिकी. So ऐसा लगता है कि जब गालिब बोलते हैं जिसे गम समझ रहे हो, this is the point he wants to make. That तुम तो इसको गम कह के, गम समझ के, गम अंडरस्टैंड करके परसीव कर रहे हो, बट ऐसा है नहीं. ये सिर्फ गम नहीं है. और इवन जो गम है आशिक के दिल में, वो आशिक के लिए इट्स नॉट अ मैटर ऑफ लॉस, इट्स नॉट अ मैटर ऑफ शेम, इट्स नॉट अ मैटर ऑफ, जिसे कहते हैं ना, रिग्रेट. द आशिक डजंट रिग्रेट इट. इट इज स्टिल डियर टू हिम. ही स्टिल होल्ड्स इट एज समथिंग प्रेशियस इन हिज हार्ट. सो दैट इज द DGMZ impression on that twist. कि what does Ghalib mean when he says जिसे गम समझ रहे हो. Now, like I said, there can be an alternative impression where you assume that there is no twist, right? And just a straightforward fact that it is all about gum. जिसे गम समझ रहे हो can be understood as जिस गम को आप समझ चुके हो. And on that assumption, the line would be understood as the pain and grief flowing in the lover's heart, if ever were to flow in the veins of a stone, it would make the stone bleed continuously. Now, I would encourage you to share with us, what did you understand, right? So, aapko twist, did you sense the twist in the couplet, or did you sense the straightforward meaning ki it is all about gum? And yes, at DGMZ we share our impressions, but we are also here to facilitate a discussion. And if you as viewers would start a conversation, we would happily and with lot of excitement and enthusiasm meet you halfway So if any of you want to share your understanding on this twist, do that in the comments and we'll pick that up as a conversation. Okay, now another point worth focusing on is that though Ghalib agrees that the stone indeed has fire flowing in its veins, and under impact or force, the stone will let out a spark which has a potential to start a fire. But Ghalib also argues that this spark is no match to the fire of passion and pain that flows in the lover's heart, that resides in the lover's heart. Only a human heart can hold in it a fire of passion and pain this great, this intense. And if ever this fire of the lover's heart or human heart was to strike a stone, it would make the stone melt, change, and bleed ceaselessly, continuously, tirelessly, just like the lover's heart does. And this is where Ghalib is expressing admiration and respect for the resilience of the lover's heart. ये जो ताब है आशिक के दिल में, to hold this fire inside it. House it inside it. ये ताब, ये resilience किसी चीज में नहीं है. This resilience is unmatched. Anything known to man, including some of the hardest things like stone, cannot match this resilience. And ऐसा लगता है कि Ghalib here makes one ponder that if the grief of the lover's heart can actually make a stone melt and bleed continuously, ceaselessly, what must it do to the lover's heart itself? It's just unimaginable, right? अगर stone का ये हाल कर सकती है तो heart का क्या हाल करती होगी? That is worth a thought. That is worth thinking about. So that takes care of the second line. जिसे गम समझ रहे हो ये अगर शरार होता. What you perceive as misery and grief, first of all, it is not misery and grief, and secondly, it is not a spark either. Because if it was, it would make the stone bleed, which he covers in the first line. Now, to end the impression, here is a small interesting story, which will be a nice way to wrap up this sher and its impression. So, Bekhud Mohani, in his impression of this sher, shared this. This verse is in answer to somebody who said, no heart is devoid of grief. In a rock, it is not a spark, but grief. Mirza Sahab says, how can you say that? If a spark were grief, then, and of course, रगे संग से टपकता वो लहू की फिर ना थमता, then ये होता. So don't say that the heart is devoid of grief. In a rock it is not a spark but grief. क्योंकि अगर rock में grief होता तो रगे संग से टपकता वो लहू की फिर ना थमता. So this sher is in response to that claim or statement made by someone. This sher is a response from Ghalib on that. Okay, so that brings us to the end of रगे संग से टपकता वो लहू की फिर न थमता, जिसे गम समझ रहे हो ये अगर शरार होता. I genuinely hope you enjoyed the impression. If you did, do share your feedback with us. Do share comments. If you know someone who would enjoy this content, do share it via your social media, be it Instagram, WhatsApp, YouTube, Facebook. One share on social media from you can mean a lot for the channel. And this is one way you can show your support for the channel. As always, for the new viewers, a strong recommendation to go through the episode titled Introduction to DGMC, because that will give you a good insight into the motivation and inspiration behind the podcast. Go to the home channel page. It has multiple playlists. One playlist is dedicated to this ghazal itself, Ye Na Thi Humaari Qismat, where we have all the episodes we have done so far and will add more. One playlist is dedicated to all ghazals that we have covered here at DGMC. There is one playlist that is dedicated to the DGMZ mini-series, where we are covering the immortal love story of Laila and Majnun. And there are other playlists also segregated by topics. Explore them and access the episode which interests you. Well, that's all I had for now. Let me close this episode by sending a lot of love and light to all you dear viewers, and thanks for watching.